got till it's gone. It'd be a paradise and put up a parking lot.
We have some clips from this water meeting from a year ago. They had a question and answer session that went over an hour, so there was citizens commenting for a very long time. So it's a lot. I'm going to put together a compilation video that I'm going to put up on the YouTube channel, and you can check that out if you want, but we are going to play a couple of clips from that meeting.
The water video in its entirety is available, though.
Yeah, the whole thing is on YouTube, on the city's YouTube page. So you can watch the whole meeting. It's about 2.5 hours long. Yes, it's on St. Cloud Water.
I'll put a link to it on stcloudwater.com. Any meeting that we did this, you can get links to any of all those meetings.
You know, the problem was all we heard from our elected official, I think there was only one that stood up and spoke to that group, was, oh, we inherited this. Well,
no accountability.
He had been in office for over 3 years at that point, and that's your current mayor. That is not what the residents want to hear. Oh, we inherited this mess. Well, when you've been there over 3 years, and that's what you come off right from the get-go, explain to the residents, that's not accepting responsibility. That's being a failure in your position.
I want to hear this is what we've
and
been
honestly,
doing.
You'll see in the clip. I kind of called the mayor out and said, "Get up and talk."
You're
to
flat
your
out
people.
telling your residents, "I've been here 3.5 years." And
yeah, and I don't.
We chose not to fix it.
I don't think that he would have stood up and talked to anybody if I didn't call him.
I don't think he would have
You're
either.
right. You did.
I don't think he would have got up either.
And you're absolutely right. You've been here 3.5 years, and you knew
You're admitting that you
signed
failed
up to
in
take
your
on the
position.
hassles of the city, and he knows because he signed up to do it. And let me just tell you, you knew what you were getting yourself into. You signed up to take on the problem. So at that point in time, do your job.
Right.
And,
It's that simple. Do your job.
And when you put out campaign flyers when you're
Oh,
going
yeah.
for re-election,
That you
don't
fixed-
say
fixed the water.
that you fixed the water when I have resin in my bathtub.
So we're going to watch a couple of these clips. Check this out.
Mr. Wheeler, I just want to give you the opportunity. You came to my home. You came in, and we probably spent close to 2 hours. I would like you to describe your hands were in my toilet. They were in the back of my tank. You saw the bathtub water. I would like you to tell the residents here what you saw the day you came, which was maybe 24 hours since I had cleaned them. What did you see, Mr. Wheeler?
Well, I saw the orange sediment, and as I've said here, I've seen.
What did you
I've
feel
seen-
around the bowl
I've seen
at the
sediment.
rim?
I felt the
cement-like
right,
line.
the deposits and stuff.
What did you see come out of my bathtub upstairs?
I don't really
Chocolate?
No, I don't really remember that. I mean, may have, but I don't remember that. But everything that everybody's talked about, I've been in some people's homes. I've seen it.
Right.
I'm not disputing anybody saying that they're not getting
No,
cold
I just
water,
wanted to
not
give
having
you the
sediment.
opportunity that
Right.
you had been in the home and
Right.
what you saw. So it's real.
Oh, I don't.
It's
yes,
absolutely real.
Yes, it is.
And that lady's words were very eloquent, as far as I'm concerned. This man here should not be taking the brunt of us. It's the people that were elected to serve us as a community, and I will go back.
Thank you very much for saying that about your baby, because I saw your beautiful baby. And your name is Mr. Wheeler, correct?
Correct.
And how long have you been doing this, sir? With
been-
helping us in the city?
Since the middle of July.
Okay. All right. But our leadership in this town has known about this for about 4 years. Is that correct? That we've had a problem, and it still hasn't been addressed because we didn't have the machine broke and all this. You know, Mr. Sturgeon, we need this fixed, okay? I don't know when the line got drawn between the people and the council members and the leadership in this town, but we are your people, okay? This needs to be fixed. We got babies. We got people taking baths in this. This gentleman doesn't even have decent water at all. It's completely black. All right, there's an issue. This needs to be addressed and it needs to be fixed. You know, instead of spending $375,000 on a piece of real estate that you told the news that we were going to use for the city, instead it's just sitting there. Instead of possibly looking at buying $5.6 or $5.8 dealership in the middle of town for I don't even know why, this money needs to be spent on water. Everybody in this room knows that you have to have clean water. You have to have, it is our livelihood, it is our health, it is everything, okay? You can't compensate me enough for my health, sir. So I will tell you, we are going to hold the leadership in this town responsible for cleaning this up. And if the leadership is not going to correct this problem, then maybe we need new leadership. Okay. Mr. Wheeler, I appreciate you coming out here today and helping us get to know this information, because you have pretty much took the blunt of what the leadership should have. They need to answer for the problems that we have. Again, I don't know why we're spending a lot of money instead of fixing our water problems. Ladies and gentlemen, we need this fixed. And we're going to hold you and the group that's in charge of this town responsible. Thank you.
So we've just watched some great clips of the citizens commenting on the issue from that water meeting from a year ago. So the next clip we're going to play is going to be Michelle and Brandi addressing the citizens in the audience, and we'll check that out right now.
This meeting may not be about us, but it happened because of us. We did the Facebook page, we did the website, and we're so happy that all of you finally know the stuff that we've known for months. We did this meeting to educate all of you, and these were questions I was going to ask today, but I don't have to because he's pretty much answered it about the, because we did talk to the DEP, and the stuff that you're drinking in the water, there's no standards for how much you're allowed to drink. There's no test to find out how much resin, and not the turbidity, I can't say the word, not the color of it, that's not what we're talking about. And actually, we've seen at least 250, 100, I mean, 100, 250, easily seen that. So, and that's not safe to drink. But there's no standard. So we don't know. We'll find out in 10 years. You want to find out what's your kidneys and your liver? We're going to find that out. We don't know yet. Nobody has that. You're not supposed to be drinking it. So when you talk to the plant there, or you talk to Australia, they're not supposed to be drinking this stuff. This is, right, this has just started with 2002, 2006. And
The very first plant ever built with the MIAX resin system was in 2006. So we are the long-term data. And to our knowledge, with the research that we've done, there has never been a problem like this with any of the others.
We tried to find one.
We can't find any data on it.
And also, you want to ask the design question?
You were saying that plant 1 and plant 4 are a different design, correct? Okay, so plant 4, was that altered? The vent on top, which it controls the pressure in the system, was that altered for cosmetic purposes?
No, my understanding was there was a change in the valve because of the noise that came as a result of the blow up.
Okay, but that's ultimately what caused the polishers to fail, because the pressure built up and caused the cracks in the aluminum system.
No, what caused the problem was what's called an air relief valve. The valve stopped functioning, which what's supposed to happen when the water's coming in, it lets the air out, and when the water goes out, it lets the air in. It's supposed to regulate the water coming in and out of the tank. If that valve doesn't work, then obviously you can create a pressure in a vacuum situation, because it doesn't allow the equalization of the air in the tank as the water comes in and out.
So how long did it take to notice before that valve wasn't working?
I have no idea.
Obviously long enough to cause this problem.
Oh, yeah, right.
Which is concerning, because there's people at that plant every single day. So how was that missed?
You're asking somebody who was not here at the time.
You're right, and I feel bad because you are a punching bag. And I apologize for that, and so are you, Cameron, because the people that should be held responsible are the city council members. There's plenty of them in this room, and maybe, Mr. Blackwell, you'd like to say something to your residents that you lead?
Because we've been told it was only us. How many times?
I can't tell you how many times that I've been told this is only my house.
For years.
I manage 260 homes in this community. So when I was told over and over again that it was just my home, I knew I was being lied to. I just didn't know what to do with it until now. And now look at all these people.
First of all, I want to thank all of you for coming, and I understand your concerns. I live in the city, and I live in one of these areas here, Veranda Lakes, and then I've had to deal with this issue, certainly not to the degree that some of you have. I just want to remind you, you know, everybody on your current council have only been there for 3 years at most. We've inherited a terrible problem that we have certainly addressed in many council meetings and in many private conversations with our city manager. And again, I just really feel tough for our city manager, Mr. Wheeler, because they didn't create this problem. We didn't create it. We've been trying our best to do what we're supposed to do to address this situation. To me, a bigger issue is what these ladies here have brought up, you know, is using the IMEX and the resin system, is it healthy? To me, that's the issue, the biggest issue. Is it healthy for us to be giving our residents? And so I think we'll certainly be doing everything that we can to provide the research that we need to say, you know, are we providing a healthy quality water? Because we got to have water. I mean, you can live without police support, you can live without the fire department, but you can't live without water. You could live without electricity, but you can't live without water. And we certainly, I think every council member here would say we're trying to solve this problem, and it just can't be solved overnight. But we think we're at a point where we're going to solve that issue. But we want to address the health issue and do some more research into that. And if it comes down, if that's the problem, then we may have to evaluate whether or not we stay with the IMEX system, or maybe bite the bullet and convert to some other type of processing system in order to provide you with good water. Again, you know, I understand, I think, some of your pain. I certainly hadn't had the black water that some of you have had out of your faucets, but I certainly have had to deal with some of the colored water. We've heard you well, and I promise you our staff and our city manager, Mr. Wheeler, they are working hard to try and correct this problem, no matter what it costs. Just thank you for your understanding and your patience. Y'all have been gracious tonight, and I thank you for that.
All right, so for full disclosure, I'm just going to admit, you know, I did clip some of the mayor's comments. It was the standard excuses that they give. It was a long tirade, so I wanted to clean it up. He went for about 6 minutes on and on, you know, basically about how they inherited this and stuff like this. Chris, I know you have something to say.
Oh, I'm shaking right now. Let me start off, though, when you can find the full footage, so there's nothing that's been altered.
It's on YouTube.
It's been cut for time only, that's it. So let me begin. All right, here we go. So the mayor keeps referring to it as IMAX. IMAX is a theater where he should take that act of his, first of all.
False information.
And he wanted to say Blackwater. That should be his last name. Not Blackwell. Blackwater should be his last name. That's number one. Second, let me tell you. I can't. The clip I saw from another part of this portion was where he talks about we could live without police, we could live without fire, right?
Yeah.
Well, I wish the unions would have known that when they endorsed him. But anyway, because I'm going to tell you that the next time something happens, I'm calling your cell phone to come and help out that situation. So that being said, I also want to make it very clear that his first sentence is, we've known about this for 3.5 years. We've only been here 3.5 years, right?
We inherited this.
We inherited this 3 years ago.
Sure. Now that's over a year ago.
Yeah, this meeting was 4 years after the fact. So.
Right. So now here we go. We're how many years in, right?
Yeah.
There is data that says it was $2.5 million to repair, not to Band-Aid, not to
replace.
Right, not to repair, not to replace. To replace it. Now,
spent
I
more
would
on ice
love
skating
to
on
this
that.
day to see the amount of money of our tax dollars that has been spent to put a Band-Aid on this situation, to not fix it, but to remedy it, but to repair it, okay?
The $2.5 million was specifically to replace the polishers, but seeing the amount of money that they used,
And that was spent.
yeah, that was.
But
I would love to see the money.
many more millions were spent to ice pig and fix
Correct.
the problem that
Correct.
they did cause because they didn't fix it to begin with.
Right.
Well,
that's what
and
she
Marjorie,
said.
That's the problem.
and they didn't mention this to us in this meeting or ever really. Marjorie told me that they can only ice pig short portions of line too.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
And I had no okay, you can
Right.
you can only so,
So
you're
not all
line
of it.
swabbing the
So
rest.
not
So
all
we
of
wonder why it's coming back.
wait, no. Oh, God, please, we forgot to say this one. And they ice picked the small pipes and didn't do the main pipes
did.
coming in. Yes,
And-
afterwards.
but yeah,
afterwards.
after
No.
they-
Afterwards. So the
So
main
you put the
pipes,
cart before the horse.
Right. So
Yeah.
the main pipes coming in, they didn't do that. They did the small ones, and after that, they went back to the ones coming in. So
So you
ones coming
reflushed
in-
it out.
So they reinfected.
Put it back into our water
they
again.
reinfected what was
Right. So you put it back into our water again.
exactly like maybe they did it afterwards, but I would think that if it's the main pipe coming in,
pipe coming
I'm gonna
in.
clean that first
Because-
and then everything else.
So here's my question. So today, when we get notified that Deer Creek, Whaley's Landing,
Whaley's Creek.
Willie's Creek, and what's the other subdivision?
Is free.
Okay. So now that those three are on a boil water that the city didn't put out there, they just got a text. Some citizens got a text.
This is from
Only
a
if they
citizen.
signed up.
I wonder now, because on May 21st of last year, the city told those residents they didn't have the budget to disperse water for them for the 6 days that they were on a boil alert. I'm wondering now if they have the budget to disperse that water to those residents, and if they don't, is it possible to take it from that new city logo fund? Just asking. Because I'm thinking to myself, apparently our priorities as our city council, and I'm not blaming all councilmen by any stretch of the imagination, but our city apparently has your priorities out of whack.